Hey everybody, this is GQ sitting here on the set of Game the Podcast. We know you love the sound of our voices, so we're going to keep it going. If you want to get in on the action, leave your comments in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to culturejunkies.net. Leave us some comments on every single article, every single story, every single thing that you see, because again, if it has to do with games, arts, movies, entertainment, we cover it. We cover everything. So we're going to get into our great topic, but before we do that, have a brand new member on the panel, but we got to talk to our old people first.
I just got called old.
Yes, you did. Big Pippa J. How
Damn. Well, Sonny, back in the day, we had what are we talking about?
Yeah, there you go. He's showing his age, even though he's younger than me. And new addition to the group.
New addition. We got Bobby Brown.
Hey, Bobby Brown. Yeah,
Yes.
he was just here. He left a little bit of cocaine behind, but you know, whatever. I'm not touching that stuff. So you can hear him right now. He's laughing. He can't contain himself. He is.
I was trying. I really was.
You did cry.
Waiting for my introduction.
Well, if you waiting, why are you still talking? No. Anyway, no. So we have the brother of one of the other members of Game. We'll let you figure out who he is, maybe by his voice, or maybe if you ever see him on an episode, you'll know who he is. But goes by the handle of Mayhem. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great. How you feeling?
I'm always good. I mean, you know, I had a little bit of.
That's what the G and GQ stands for. Good.
Exactly. Good.
You know, it's all making sense now. It's coming together.
It's the Q we've been trying to figure out.
Well,
I think the Q's silent.
Q is silent.
Kind of like the
Django.
G in lasagna. Didn't Lil Wayne say something like that? Yeah.
Could have been. I always call it lasagna.
See?
You
That
know.
actually sounds more like delicious.
Yeah, a little bit.
Always want
But
the Bologna.
so before we lose the other half of the audience, we're going to go ahead and bring the topic in. We're going to be talking about PC gaming. We all know that PCs are the quote-unquote master race when it comes to gaming. And
Wait. PCs are white?
They are. White power. A little bit of black power.
A little bit. It was actually beige power for the longest time.
Well, yeah, brownouts.
Y'all want to see my face?
No, but PC, I mean, obviously PC gaming, you see it on every message board you go to. PCs are the best. Consoles are garbage. The consoles that are out this generation are weak. They're using old boards and graphics cards and all this other stuff, and PCs is blah, 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 blah. What is it about PC gaming that's so great?
They look better, they feel better. Traditionally speaking, they have always been more upgradable. They've just done a better job. I mean, realistically, I mean, if you want to go back to like the days of like, you know, the 80s when you had the Tandies and the Radio Shacks.
Radio Shack and Tandy was Radio Shack.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you had the Tandies, and I think Sears had one for a hot second.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, look, you were fighting against, you know, the original NES and some arcade boxes. And to get a home computer that would do anything close to that, you were talking tens of thousands of dollars.
Back in the 80s, man, that's worth a couple million now.
But I mean, realistically, if we're talking modern gaming, which is what, like mid 90s up, year 2000 forward, PC gaming really is kind of where everything is at. I mean, starting with like the old Voodoo cards back in like the Quake days. I mean, PC games were great for big RPG games, big adventure games, and first-person shooter games. I mean, up until what, Halo came out, did you really get a good first-person shooter on a console? And this is stuff that PCs have been doing for years. I mean, you actually have companies like ATI, which their sole thing that they were doing for the longest time was just making video cards for these high-end PC games. I mean, the guys who made the Voodoo cards, which gave it a distinct Voodoo look for first-person shooters, was absolutely amazing, and nothing on a console could touch that.
I thought even NVIDIA back in the day.
NVIDIA started off. NVIDIA ATI was doing it. I mean, you had the old guys like Matrox doing like work stuff. NVIDIA always had like their like drafting cards, but you had companies that their sole bit were out there making high-end game cards, so that your stuff would look just amazing and blow anything that the consoles had away. And when you look nowadays at what's going on, I mean, Steam has really revolutionized what gaming really is.
Yes.
I mean, it really has. I mean, back in the day when you had console exclusives that were solely for the Xbox or solely for what Nintendo had or solely for what Sega put out, then you might have actually had, you know, an argument. But at this point, as of today, I don't think that there's anything a console can do that a PC can't do better and easier and for the most part, probably cheaper. I mean, you could go get a $200 PC that'll make games look good. You want things to look great. You're dropping the amount of a Ford Fiesta.
I know what
but
a PC.
Damn, that thing is going to look awesome.
I know exactly what a PC can't do. It can't play Wii bowling.
That's not true. There are actually hacks out that will actually allow your PC to do just about anything a Wii will do.
No. Not hacks.
Hey, no.
Actual bowling.
No. You said that it wouldn't do bowling. And I'm sorry, but it will. And here's even the funniest thing that really cracked me up a few years ago is when they actually made a commercially available Sony PlayStation emulator that made the PlayStation games actually look better than anything Sony did. Anti-aliasing is a wonderful thing to have.
Well, of course. Well, Mayhem, what's your take on it, man? I mean, because I know you deal in the.
Well, Mayhem works at one of them big box stores.
Well, we're not gonna say.
Well, no, man. He works for that
It's
fireworks.
not yellow or anything.
Well, no, you work for that fireworks store around the corner, right? That big box.
Yeah. Only comes around like once a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. That's the one. Let's roll with that.
Fair enough.
Well, first thing I'm going to say, I want to comment on just consoles. Period. When you look at one of the more, I guess, revolutionary consoles, like PlayStation 1, right? PlayStation 1, man, I remember that came out, that was the system to have, right? It was great. But then when PlayStation 2 came out, they were like, oh my goodness. It was such...
I can save things. It looks great. I can carry it with me.
It was so dramatic. And then you went from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. Now you got Blu-ray, your graphics have increased. It's turned into a media center, which the world wasn't ready for, and that's why Xbox...
No, I don't think it wasn't that the world was ready for, because again, PC guys for years were having their boxes stream stuff to their computers, get stuff together, and be their central entertainment hubs. The console gamers had no concept and thought it was this really intricate, expensive, huge thing to do, and it really wasn't.
But see, that's the thing. That's who consoles or platforms rather are geared towards. They're not geared towards your heaviest of gamers. Your heaviest of gamers are always going to stick to your PCs. And so when you look at when PlayStation 3 first launched, and when I worked at Fireworks at the time, and it launched, I remember people standing outside trying to get that console. It was such a drastic price. People still wanted it, but it didn't sell like how Microsoft 360 did, because that stuck to more so just gaming. Of course,
Right.
their online gaming, of course, was better than PlayStation.
Well, I don't know if it's so much that the 360 sold more because of the gaming aspect versus the media aspect. I think it was that almost $800 price for
true.
the PS3
Yeah,
at
if
the
you
time.
want the bigger hard drive, that's right. Yeah,
That was a little bit of a drawback. Plus, this is one thing I will always give Sony credit for. Every single one of their systems, at least obviously with the PlayStation 4, they're kind of done with pushing new media out, but every single one of them pushed new media as far as, to the home. Obviously, the PlayStation was a CD-based system because DVD didn't exist yet. PlayStation 2, built-in DVD player, plays DVDs right out the box, introduced a lot of people to that medium, and then PS3 comes along. What is a Blu-ray player? Why do I need a Blu-ray player?
and actually, it was the best Blu-ray player out on the market
it
at the
still
time.
is.
It's a great Blu-ray player.
How good that Blu-ray player is, and it was upgradable. That's the one thing that consoles have somewhat caught up to PCs on, is their upgrades. They come in the form of software, firmware updates and that
right.
sort of thing. You're not going out having to, okay, well, great, Blu-ray's out, now I got to drop a different drive, and you can't do that on the console. PC gamers have always had that option, but this is what turned me off to PC gaming when I first looked at it when I was, a wee lad. It was the whole, I don't necessarily want to buy because remember they were $80 approximately at the time for most games back then, maybe a little bit cheaper because before they kind of set that $50 and $60 price.
Yeah, the Blu-ray version of the games. Yeah.
Oh no, this is way before Bluray because I said a wee lad. So
yeah.
Blu-ray
You
is
did-
a little
yeah.
bit, Blu-ray. I hate to say I'm older than a couple of different mediums of media now, but whatever.
Hey, but you still got my 8-track?
You know what? I got an 8-track machine upstairs actually. Probably still works.
Man,
Well, hey.
Just don't tell anybody else that.
Hey, the whole world knows now. It's out there. But no, getting back to it though, I did not like the fact that, okay, you want me to spend $80 for the game approximately.
Which, hold up, was a boxed beta.
Yes, it was.
My biggest issue with console for years is you were getting unfinished games. Anytime there was a problem on my PC end, guess what? Click, 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 there's the new patch. Life is good.
No. PC games, no, games, console games now are doing box beta.
Oh no! Console games with box betas.
No.
Listen, how many games?
How many
did you
Nintendo
play?
games did you have had patches?
How many which games?
Nintendo.
That was the problem. How many broken Nintendo games did you have?
No. Nintendo? The original NES seal of quality?
Man, there was a ton of glitchy games back then. Don't even.
Really?
Yes.
Name 3.
But there was always a trick to get it to work. Blow the disc.
Use the towel.
No.
Everybody had their routine to get their Nintendo to work.
Press power 3 times.
But hold on, real quick. Let me go back to my original point, though. I didn't like the idea that you had to buy an $80 game. Then, if you really wanted this $80 game to play the way it needs to play, you had to invest at least another
$500.
$3 or $500 for either the latest video card at the time, or maybe you need a little bit more RAM because
Look at like Crysis 2 even a few years ago,
you
man.
still can't run that game.
Well, you can finally run it now. The
Oh, really?
It's 7 years old.
Oh well, that's bad.
No, I understand what you're saying. I mean, you're right. You were running issues that again, if I plugged the cartridge in, I knew how it was going to look. You're absolutely right. But there were a lot of games that were broken out. Like, dude, Superman 64? You mean to tell me that couldn't have used a patch to fix that game?
Superman 64 was so bad, the demo that was supposed to show you how to play the game was broken.
Exactly, but that's my point. There were a lot of games released in the cartridge area, and even for the original Xbox and in PlayStation series that were just were broken.
Oh, no
that should
doubt.
have never hit
No
the market.
doubt, because again, it goes back to Nintendo. We've even talked about this on past episodes of Game. Nintendo had that gangster stranglehold on everybody back then. It was like, if it was garbage, don't even bring it around here. Some stuff slipped through the cracks. Tengen was like, skip it. We're going to do a workaround and get around your whole thing. And they brought out still arguably one of the better versions of Tetris.
This is true.
But I mean, again, it's one of those things. The seal of quality thing with Nintendo is gone. So the Wii had nothing but mounds upon mounds of shovelware, a la ET like stuff. Why'd they spend all that money to dig up that landfill?
Because it was fun.
Let me tell you something. I never forget. I read an article. This is slightly off topic, but I never forget. I read an article. They were talking about the Wii and how the Wii, only 20% of the games were worth it to buy.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And so, what do you think about Nintendo? Does Nintendo? Okay, actually, I'll say it this way. I think if Nintendo sticks to the type of games that they have that are fun, like your Mario's, your Mario Kart, your Smash Brothers, your Zelda,
Your Metroids.
all those games. If you stick to those, like Nintendo, first of all, never fail for those reasons, but they need to focus on solely that.
They are doing it.
Now here's the problem.
Right.
They may become Sega if they're not careful, though.
Yeah. Because literally, think about the last couple of Nintendo systems. Nintendo, and again, like you said, it's off topic, we'll hit it real quick. Nintendo, NES. All of our childhoods we were all brought up on the NES.
We were.
In some way or another, all of us had an NES, played it, if it was a friend's house or whatever. Super Nintendo, quality system. Killed everything that you played on your old Nintendo system. It was great. You get into the 64. Now it's a little bit weird because you promised us this Killer Instinct game that's in the arcade is supposed to run on this hardware. The one that we got was garbage.
Mortal Kombat, I'm not real happy with.
Yeah.
Street Fighter plays a little funky.
Right. Everything started getting weird. Now, granted, one of the best games of all time, Super Mario 64, was on that system.
I was going to say Rogue Squadron.
Well, Rogue Squadron was great, but Mario 64, that was still one of the best 3D cameras ever. Mm-hmm. There's some PC games that don't even rival that camera.
No,
so, I mean, that's insane. But also, it introduced everybody to the analog stick of, getting used to that.
I still love the 64 controller. I think it's arguably, aside from the DualShock, it's the best controller ever made.
Yeah, it was definitely a great thing. But you ran into the problem of Nintendo was stuck in cartridge mode forever. Even when the GameCube came out, we're not going to do DVD. Somebody might copy. Yeah, it was this little proprietary mini DVD. It's like, but you're going to mess up every single game that you want to release because you can't do what all the other systems are doing.
You just brought up a valid point, though. I don't even think you really realized it. And that is the one thing that consoles, for the longest time, had over your PC systems, is that there were always better controllers. Up until I think the PlayStation 2 came out, when Logitech and Microsoft started porting like those designs to a USB format to be used on a PC. You had like your generic joystick, or you had like some sort of weird pad that was always a problem.
The Gravis pad?
I used to have a Gravis pad.
Remember?
I used to have a Sidewinder too.
No, I remember. I still have a Sidewinder joystick.
I think I finally get away.
Sidewinder joystick.
Yeah.
I will say this though, without PC gaming though, and what they were to bring to the market with their flight sims and their driving games, I know Waffles wouldn't have any more fun.
Oh heck no, because he's all about racing wheels.
Exactly.
And that definitely started on the PC.
Yep.
That was like their bread and butter was the simulators at the time.
And they were amazing.
And we never, ever would have got Steel Battalion.
I was just gonna say, we got Steel Battalion.
Ever.
I still wish I had.
I still don't have it.
I still want that game.
Go to eBay.
I played that game at Toys R Us one time with the great Daddy Kuji, and he had to come back and get me or tell me he was going to leave me. Because I was a huge Mech Warrior fan and had never seen that before in my life.
He was your ride that day.
I'm telling you, man, it was. But that's the kind of thing. I mean, because I was the kind of type of geek playing Mech Warrior. I wanted to shell out $3,000 to have 3 monitors in front of me, a center cam, a left cam, and a right cam. I wanted to find a way to do that. You know what I mean, and again, what you're able to do nowadays, games are looking better than ever.
Oh yeah.
They're playing better than ever. But it all boils down to is what do you really want? If you just want something that you can push a button, load in a game, and go to town, consoles are the way to go. If you want something that'll do a little bit more, look a little bit, it's like buying a car. If you just want a car that's going to get you from point A to point B, go buy a Honda Civic. But if you want something with a little more muscle, a little more power, you might want to go buy a Mustang. You may need to do a little more work and spend a little more money, but let's face it, chicks dig hot rods.
Well, I understand. What about that guy that wants? Well, yeah, but what about that guy that wants to push that Yugo around, though, man?
Well, you know,
Put a little bit of work in there. You might be able to do something.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. To each their own, man. I mean, and it's funny because me and Daddy Kuji got into this one time. Because for years I talked about how great PCs were. Hey, man, Seth, both. And now look who's finally come around to say that.
Yeah, Mr. Pessimistic.
Mr. Pessimistic
Forgot about him.
Who just said, man, I love what Skyrim did. I love this. I've been saying it for years. Y'all don't listen to me.
Well, you know, every guy, you know, he finally cut his dreads so he was able to hear you.
Even a broken clock is right twice a time.
At least 2 times out of the day, at least. So, gentlemen, we're running down to the last minute. Real quick, what for PC gaming, if you've ever played any PC games, what was the defining game for you? I know Big Pepper J, you mentioned Mech Warrior.
Warrior, Quake 2.
Okay.
Easy. I mean, Quake 2 and Quake 3, that series was absolutely amazing. On the RPG side, the Ultima series was great. I never got into Evercrack. Couldn't do it. Would not do it.
Subscription service will kill you.
Would not do it. But no, really what got me hooked, you know, those Max Payne. Max Payne just played so much better on a PC.
Okay. And Mayhem, if you have any, what were some of the PC games you enjoyed?
It's
Whether it be old or new.
When I was younger, I used to play Duke Nukem.
Yes!
On PC.
There you go.
That introduced me to it. And man, I used to come home from school. I would just immediately start playing Duke Nukem. So that introduced me to the PC world. And I took a pretty big hiatus from the PC world, and I focused mainly on platforms. But I came back to PC, Elder Scroll.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And for me, there aren't any because I'm still not a PC gamer. Because I am
Appreciate the honesty.
evil a little bit.
You just don't like a real soundtrack. I mean,
No,
it took consoles 10 years before they started including soundtracks on the games that my
That's
PCs
not
could do.
true.
Back in the early days, I remember even in Doom, one of the coolest things about the Quake series.
I know, you could put CD.
No, Trent Reznor actually did the soundtrack, and there was a full soundtrack that would play in the background, like a full disc.
I
You couldn't get
understand.
that crap on your
Hey,
your
Super Nintendo Sony
PlayStation
chip was awesome. It had some great sound.
Excuse me while I vomit.
Way better than Genesis and their weird, strange
that's-
Street
they're
Fighter.
the end of our show,
sound
people.
effect.
There's seven blips. The 7 blips and boops you
I'm
heard.
just kidding. I'm pretty sure you just turned my mic down, but
I
that's
did
all
not,
right.
not yet. I thought about it.
Well, you know, I'm the host. You can't turn my mic down this time.
I just did. You know, the fact that they let me sit back here, he can talk all he wants, and ladies and gentlemen, we just won't hear him. I'm just a horrible prick.
I gotta close the show.
Okay, cool.
All right, there you go. Well, fine, it'll be that way. That's all right. Anyway, for all of you out there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like these videos. I hope you enjoyed the footage that we ran because, you know, that's a lot of video game playing to keep you guys visually amused as you
Visually
listen to...
stimulated.
Exactly. Visually stimulated as you listen to the smooth baritone.
One of these times, we just need to put like a 30-minute loop of Philip on the beach.
We could. I don't know if I want to render that. I don't know if my computer might protest that one.
I think my eyes might bleed.
Get up and walk away. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like us on Facebook. Like us on YouTube,
Tell us what you think.
Instagram. Tell us what you think. Let us know something down there in the comments. If we're crazy, if you are a member of the PC Master Race, sign in, hit that like button. Make sure you let it be known. If you're on the opposite side of things, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Again, there's nobody else left. It used to be Sega.
Who?
Well, you know, Sega.
Sega! Oh, Dreamcast.
Yeah, exactly. Dreamcast, there you go. You know, sign in, let us know what you think about them. So, for Big Pimpa J, for the newly baptized and part of the group Mayhem, this is GQ. See you guys later. Game over.
Culture Junkies!